What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another Squawk with Swoop, and I've got a very special guest in the lead up to a huge preliminary final. Dan McStay, how you going, mate? Thank you for taking your time out this afternoon for me.
Hey, Swoop. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's been a big couple of weeks for you guys and for us supporters as well. I guess I kind of want to start back where it all started. With you joining the club, coming from the Lions. Obviously, a big cultural shift from Brisbane, like a rugby sort of town. I would sort of assume coming to the heart of football. How was that sort of change for you?
Yeah, obviously, I grew up in Melbourne, so I
Yep.
spent the first 18 years of my life here. Then I obviously got drafted to Brisbane, and I honestly felt like Brisbane was home for me, and
Yep.
I didn't really see myself leaving. And then in the background. Um, and then just the way things kind of rolled, and I ended up getting an offer to come to Collingwood, and obviously family was a massive. Family was obviously a massive pull as well. My sister having her first kid, and
Yep.
my parents, like dad owns a tattoo shop just down the road from Collingwood facilities. So all these things kind of just played a massive role in making my decision, and
Yep.
so grateful that I have made this decision. Love the footy club, love the fans. The supporters have been incredible. They turn out week in, week out, whether it's
Yeah.
training, whether it's an away game, whether it's, it doesn't matter who we play. It's just incredible to see how many people, black and white, just everywhere.
Yeah, like and look, we absolutely love you as well. On Twitter, I don't know if you've seen it. They've coined you as Dan McSlay. That's your that's your Twitter sort of nickname going around. And they would have they would have told me off if I didn't mention that to you. But look, you mentioned the fans and the Magpie Army, and Craig McRae talks about that sort of all the time. And we had a big couple of thousand people on Friday night, at training, and there'll be another couple of thousand at open training on Monday. And you guys talk about how it sort of lifts you, but how do you sort of quantify it, or how does it actually feel being on the field?
You honestly get goosebumps when you guys roar. Whether it's a tackle, whether it's a goal, whether it's just the Collingwood chant, it honestly just gives us that extra bit of energy, that extra lift, and we talk about being connected within a team, and we feel like we're so connected with the fans as well. So yeah, it definitely means a lot, and I feel like you guys turn out when we don't call on you guys. So now that we are calling on you guys, I feel like you're just going to respond in droves, and yeah, it's just awesome. So we absolutely love it. It definitely gives us that edge over any other team in the comp.
And we're probably gonna have another, 96, 97,000 on Friday night against the Giants. So that's just going to be huge. It kind of reminds me of the Collingwood Fremantle game. Obviously, you didn't play in it last year in the final, where it was just mainly Collingwood supporters, and I feel like that sort of got us over the line. And we love doing that. We feed off you guys as well as us, and we kind of saw it when Ginnivan came on in that fourth quarter. What's that like as well? He's just so loved.
It was so funny. I honestly reckon that was the loudest thing I've ever been a part of when GINNI popped on. It was actually insane. I asked him, I was like, how did you feel in that moment? Like, I remember getting goosebumps when play was kind of happening as he was
Yeah.
on, and he's like, nah, I feed off that. He's that sort of guy. So he loves it. We love it. And we love him being him. And obviously the crowd does as well. So
Yeah.
he's so important to our group. He's so infectious. And yeah, it's just great to play with guys like that just feed in those big moments.
No, we love that. And look, your sort of Collingwood career didn't get off to the brightest start with, not only did you have a couple of games before your injury, but you were forced into the ruck when we had no ruckman playing. So, you did a little bit of a time in Brisbane and stuff, and in that one final where you absolutely smashed it. But look, it didn't get off to that sort of start. And what was that sort of process like? I think you were out, I think you returned around 18 or something, and you've been on fire since then. But what was that sort of like, knowing that it's only, it's a hand injury, you can still do everything else except for, mark the ball pretty much and stuff.
Yeah, it was interesting. I felt like I had a pretty good preseason, and I felt like some of my preseason games were really strong. And then I probably didn't transfer that to round one to round four, and yeah, it was pretty frustrating. And then obviously got the hand injury, but I thought that the hand injury was a good opportunity to just reset, really
Yep.
hone in on the way the club wants to play. They play fair bit different to the way Brisbane play.
Yep.
So I was just really trying to make sure that when my time did come, I was ready. And sorry, there's a bit
No,
going on.
that's okay. That's okay.
um, so yeah, it wasn't obviously the start, but I think the important thing is just how you grow and how you like learn to roll with the punches. And I
Yep.
feel like I've been able to do that the last 8 or 9 weeks, whatever it's been. And yeah, just learning. I'm still learning how to
Of
play
course.
not only in front of like the big crowds, but with the connection between me and the teammates, the forwards, the midfielders, and yeah. So I hope that this isn't my best year. I hope that I've got so much more to give in the next 4 or 5 years, and
Yep.
yeah. So I feel like that's a really exciting part for me, and yeah, that's pretty much yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me on to the second question, where Brody Mychek has been battling by himself since he started in 2018. He got picked up as a key back. He plays as a key forward and has been battered from pillar to post. We finally get another sort of big guy in to sort of help him. And how's that sort of connection been between you two? I know it takes some time to sort of get used to it, and then you've got GINNI, Bobby, Bo at your feet at times as well. How's that sort of forward line sort of working?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Checkers, he like you said, he's kind of been the one out guy for the last 4 or 5 years, and so there was times early days where I'd be going for a mark, and then he would be coming back with the flight because that's what he's always had to
That's
do.
it.
He's
Yep.
always had to be the guy to create the contest. When
Yep.
we'd kind of talk like just like just trust me that I can get the job done, or
Yep.
so it's all the little things that probably you guys don't always see. You might just look at stats or whatever, or the
Yep.
team might just look at stats, but it's all the little things about us just learning to play together. And I like learning how our midfielders want to kick the ball, or the way they drive through the corridor and use up the hands. I've always at Brisbane, I was always a typical like lead up at the footy sort of player, whereas at Collingwood, we use the handball, we try and break through the tackles, and then we're trying to get the ball
Yep.
over the back. So yeah, it's just a little like differences from one team to another, and yeah, one style, I guess. And it's been great. I've actually loved my time learning a different way of looking at the game of football.
Yeah, no, and you can kind of see that from the way that you guys played, especially at the start of the year. And now I think there was only one game since round 18 against Fremantle where you've only kicked one goal. You've been kicking bags of two since you
Yeah,
returned, and it's
it'd be
just a
nice.
little.
It'd be nice to kick more than two, but
But it's been pretty consistent, which is
yeah,
which is good as well, which helps. And like you said, it's not just the stats; it's everything else that you sort of help out with. You talked about the differences between Brisbane and the Pies. One difference I want to sort of talk about is at Collingwood, we won that qualifying final. You get that week off, and then into the prelim this week. Brisbane, and correct me if I'm wrong, but last year you played the qualifying semi and then the prelim against the Cats three in a row, or
I think we finished fifth last year, so we
yeah,
played Richmond, beat them, then we played Melbourne, beat them,
yeah.
and we played the Cats. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that sort of like playing consistently in the finals and this is two games in a month. What's the sort of the lead up and your mentality and
Yep.
workload and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I think I played in 4 final series before this one, and I think I played in 2 prelims, and I've been knocked out once as well in straight sets. So
Yep.
yeah, they're definitely different the way you've got to prepare. Obviously, the week off it's a blessing and a curse. Obviously you want to go in with momentum, and when you have the week off, you obviously don't have that built-in momentum that GWS will have this week. Playing
Yep.
last night. So, but we just got to back ourselves in that we do the training, we get the week-to-week stuff done correctly. That'll allow us come Friday night,
Yep.
first by the first bounce, we're ready to go and ready to crack in like a final, like we should. Whereas on the other end, you've got less time to prepare. You're coming off like the momentum, but
Yep.
you've also got chance of guys being sore, niggles,
Yep.
like a little bit injury, like a few injury clouds or whatever.
Of
So
course. Yeah.
yeah, there's the pros and cons of both. I just feel like we're in a really good position now. I feel like we train as hard any
Yeah.
team. The intensity in which we trained with on Friday night was finals like. So we're prepped, we're ready to go. We're just counting down the days now to the big one. So yeah, looking
Yeah.
forward.
And that's what we love to hear. Look, before we sort of let you go, I've got a couple of questions from fans. I'll put the call out for them. So Phil PTW asks, who out of the midfield gives you the best service or has the best connection going forward?
Um, Geordie DeGoey is elite. The way he can change his kick mid stride is amazing. Paddy Lipkinski's underrated the way he can use the ball inside 50. I think you saw against Melbourne a couple of the kicks that he put
Yep.
to Billy Elliott were just awesome. So he's another one that can change his kick like mid stride. They're usually the ones that are harder to pick because if you start to lead a certain way, the defender might not notice that, and they're able to change it and
Far out.
yeah, put you into a good spot. So yeah, that's what I love leading to.
No, I love that. T Mellow Magpies asks, who has impressed you the most since being at the Pies?
Who was what? Sorry.
Who has impressed you the most since being at the Pies?
Oh, I mean, it's hard to
This,
go past
yeah,
Nick. Like,
yeah,
second year player, the way he holds himself, you'd honestly think he'd played 200 games.
yep,
But he's also so down to earth and just such a genuine person as well. He's so infectious around the footy club. So for a 20-year-old to command what he does from the fans and from the football industry, and then to still be so humble and such a normal person outside of it. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. Yeah,
yeah, and coming back for a prelim as well, which is just gives everyone a sort
yeah.
of big boost as well, which is incredible.
It's incredible how much a second year player, like how much change that can have. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we love it. Sam asks, who is one past Pies player that you would love to line up with?
Ooh. Nice player. I mean, probably Bucks. Like he was
Yeah,
probably an all timer.
yep.
The way he kicked the balls, both feet. Yeah, tough as nails. Yeah, absolute legend of footy club.
Nah, look, man, I'll leave it at that. I really do appreciate you taking the time and coming on. Good luck for Friday, and we'll see you. 95,000 Collingwood supporters. We'll see you there and cheering you on to a win in the prelim, mate.
Thanks so much for that, Swoop.
Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Cheers, mate. See
Yeah.
you, brother.
Yeah.
Bye.